like to take a look at a psalm I'm sure you all know very well, and it's Psalm 2. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and his anointed, saying, "Let us burst their bonds apart and cast away their cords from us." He who sits in the heavens laughs. The Lord holds them in derision. Then he will speak to them in his wrath and terrify them in his fury, saying, "As for me, I have set my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will tell of the decree. The Lord said to me, You are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will make the nations your heritage, and the ends of the earth your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron and dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore, O kings, be wise, be warned, O rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry and you perish in the way, for his wrath is quickly kindled. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. This psalm is subtitled The Triumphant Messiah. It's a psalm about the coming one, the Son of the living God. It's a psalm about Jesus, right there in Psalm 2. But it's also a psalm about the systems and ways of this world. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? Looking around the world, that question comes to my mind too. War, yes, but also in so many ways. The corruption, the rebellion, the rich get richer and the poor suffer. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers to take counsel together. It sometimes seems like the decisions all really happen in closed rooms, not in the polling stations. But you know, it's always been like this. It was in David's time and it is today. And we still look on and wonder why. Putin's war in Ukraine, Putin's war in Georgia, Yeltsin's war in Chechnya, America's war in Iraq, and on and on. Empires rise, empires fall. Again and again, the nations rage and the nations plot. It says in the psalm what the real rebellion is: against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, "Let us burst their bonds apart and cast away from their cords from us." It's rebellion against God, against the perceived bonds of God and his anointed, his Son. Human nature moves against God. The kings and rulers plan one another to cast off the yoke of subjection. Bonds are the fastenings by which the yoke was secured around the neck, and the cords are with the bond. They're secured by the cords on the neck. This may naturally be understood to mean the reins by which an animal was guided and kept under control. We imagine the yoke God puts on us in life to be hard and restrictive, but of course Jesus said, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." The restrictions we have under God are light compared to the weight of sin. This raging against the bonds is because they don't want God to be in control of their lives. They want to do their own thing without him, and that's what human nature always does. Right across the world, people view faith in God as a shackle, something to throw off so they can be free to do whatever they want. but it's nothing new. It was the same when this psalm was written. We live in a world in utter rebellion, but does God worry about any of that? No. He who sits in the heavens laughs and holds them in derision. They think they're so powerful, these men, these rulers, but they are nothing before God. They may plot, but this psalm says they plot and rage in vain. His plans will not be altered by them, for he sent the King over all of them. This psalm looks forward to the day that the Messiah will come. Well, we can read this and look forward to the day when the Messiah returns. For it's to him that the nations will be an inheritance, a heritage. The ends of the earth will be his possession. What the rulers and kings plot to achieve will never be achieved by them, because it's all been given to Jesus. These world systems of inequality, the way man is, will be broken with a rod of iron when Jesus returns. He will dash it all into pieces, the ways of man. This psalm ends with a warning or an encouragement. It depends on how you take it. Be wise, rulers of the earth, and be wise, all of us. Serve the Lord, not your own agenda, not power, not acclaim. Serve the Lord. Kiss the Son, submit to the Son, worship the Son. Because there are ultimately two ways to live, like the plotting kings, always wanting more, always pushing your own agenda, which leads to raging against God, and it leads to rebellion. Or there's taken refuge in the Son. Blessed, this psalm says, are those who take refuge in him. When we see the problems of this world, war, corruption, the unfairness, don't let those things be your focus, because it will all be broken by the Son. If we look at what's happening around the world, it's easy to despair. But when we look at the King of Kings, then we can have hope. Take your refuge in him. Do not worry, but trust. For the kingdoms of the earth will fade. They will be broken with a rod of iron. And his kingdom will know no end. May the Lord bless you.